Hey there, Jays, it's your old pal Mcjuggernuggets here. Welcome. We are about to journey through Jesse's medical issues in this Mcjuggernuggets medical mystery. This is all dead fucking serious. This is for you guys to maybe help me find out what's wrong with me, and this is for me to find out what's wrong with me. I have here a giant dry erase board, my sheet that goes back and traces the history of this unknown illness. I wish we had fucking Dr. House on this ish, but we don't. So please, come with me on a journey inside Jesse's spleen. Our journey begins on June 10th, 2015, almost 8 months ago. On this day, my asshole of a father decided to bury my video game collection. Also on this day, Corn and I decided to dig them up. I ended up stressing my muscles out pretty badly, and I think this is where it all began. Days later, I was doing an exercise program known as Insanity, doing burpees, push-up position from standing up. On one of my burpees, I fucking died. I could not get up. This is what I looked like. My pelvis went too far forward, and I felt a pop, and it shot all these pains straight up to my heart. I thought I was dying, like I was having a heart attack. It was from this point on where I could no longer exercise. Get over it, bitch. A week later, I was invited by Nintendo to attend a convention known as E3. At E3, I was actually dealing with some serious muscle pains, all stemming from the left side. Yes, that is a 3. Our next stop brings us to June 21st, Father's Day. On this day, me and my brother Jeffrey got my dad a grill. I didn't appear to have too much trouble moving it. I do remember having a slight pain, and you can see it in the videos. However, it was never to the point where I couldn't move it. Interesting. June 25th, only but 4 days later, me and Corn made a music video where I would appear to be shattering Jeffrey's play button. Swinging an extremely large, heavy hammer, yet I was somehow okay, also while doing ridiculous ass dance moves. Explain that. Not but 2.5 weeks later, we had a family trip to North Carolina. It was here that things took a turn for the worse. I got infectious mononucleosis, which for those who don't know, it attacks your lymphatic system, your immune system. Swells up your lymph nodes, you're extremely tired, and you're stuck with it for life. One of the worst days that I can remember was the next day after getting mono. In the video where my dad fucking launches the Wii off the deck in North Carolina, I could not stop holding my side. I couldn't even yell without feeling pain. Everything hurt. At this current time, Jesse believes it to be an enlarged spleen, which is where all the Elmer spleen things originated from, which is actually a side effect of mononucleosis. People have actually ruptured their spleen while unknowingly having mono and engaging in physical activity. Blood tests then confirm that I do have mono, and for the next month and a half after July, leading into September, we have sick vlogs and health updates. I even went to VidCon extremely sick and exhausted. Jesse had to cut back streaming because it hurt to talk and even stand for extended periods of time. Months later, September 3rd, Uncle Larry's teaching me how to do self-defense moves. He pulls me back at one point. Next thing you know, I feel an epic tear along my left side. A few days later, September 6th, Jesse does a Q&A video and actually outlines where he feels the pain. It's also a few days later, an ultrasound confirms that it has nothing to do with the spleen. Uh-oh. Construction begins. We're all the way in October now. Throughout the whole month, I was unable to do any labor or any menial task whatsoever. I actually hardly even left this fucking chair. Oh, and I started taking a lot of painkillers too. One of the days, while being convinced it is a hernia, we even showed a nifty little demonstration for you guys. He went down, and then Jesse goes back to do the push-up, and then that's his abdominal wall. On the fateful day of October 5th, I was doing a fan mail video, and I was struggling to make it through. I felt severe pain. I claimed it was a hernia in the video. I even started to feel nausea. On that day, I was rushed to the emergency room because I felt really fucking sick. Unfortunately, I didn't stick around in the emergency room because it took too long, but I started to feel better. The curious thing to note here is nausea. After my emergency room visit and realizing that the ultrasound found nothing months ago, I decided to get a CT scan. This would show the inside of my body in great detail, unfortunately with some radiation side effects, but that's okay. So on this fateful day, on October 8th, I got my scan and I got the results. Don't mind me writing that, because what the nurses told me is that I had a herniated disc in my back. But guess what? I'm trying to shoot this. What I ended up realizing was that the nurses mixed up their results. I didn't have that at all. Turns out I had a condition known as diverticulosis, which when you first hear that, scares the shit out of you. For those who don't know what that is, basically starts to form little digestive pouches in your intestines. Food gets caught in that shit, and it could get inflamed, and it could get infected. This was a big deal. What the fuck? And then Jeffrey gets in here. For much of the remainder of the month of October, I was referred to a gastroenterologist who specializes in pretty much bullshit. No, I mean actual shit, guys. The doctor then told me that I needed to eat more fiber in my diet. Guess what, Juggies? My diet is a lot of fucking fiber. Maybe too much of one thing is a bad thing and causes diverticulosis. He actually prescribed me some antibiotics, which I took for a week, that was supposed to get rid of any diverticulitis, which means it's infected, so it did nothing for me at all. October 29th, right at the tail end of the month, I decided to attempt a liquid diet for 24 whole fucking hours of just this shit. Which, side note, I'm actually in the process of doing right now. Delicious. This was actually in preparation for a colonoscopy test, which I ended up backing out of fear of being anally penetrated by my doctor. Can you blame me? I mean, really? We're all the way into November now. At this point, I'm extremely frustrated that nothing has been discovered yet. I'm back on painkillers, which I guess is a good thing, and I have a big ass fight in November with my brother, which probably ended up setting me back a few months of recovery, because Jesse, at this point, really believes it's muscular. Luckily, I get referred to a sports med doctor. All this leading up to the month of December. The sports med doctor believes that I have a hernia, which for those who don't yet understand what a hernia is, it's basically when a part of the intestine pushes out through the abdominal wall or whatever muscular structure is there, and it's actually pretty painful. Jesse also notices a very large palpable mass right down here, guys. It's not inappropriate, and I can actually manipulate it with my hand. I then had 2 MRIs done, including some x-rays, and all results were negative. The sports med doctor practically gives up, however he thinks they could be adhesions, which for those who don't know what adhesions are, basically if you suffer from some trauma or you had surgery some point before this, you develop this scarred tissue which then can adhere itself to other structures in the body. He believed that maybe I ruptured a muscle, it developed scarred tissue and adhered itself to my digestive tract. Moving into January, all x-rays revealed that there is no structural damage to any of the muscles. This also marks the time where I decided it was finally time to move the fuck out of my house. Not only that, but I get referred to a general surgeon because there's a possibility they may need to open me up just to find out what's wrong with me. It's called diagnostic surgery. Working our way up to present day, we're in January and February. During this time, my dad slipped and fell off the porch of my new house and actually had an emergency hernia surgery. This supported the claim that possibly I have... What?
Why do you gotta bring me into your video?
I'm talking about my medical problems, that maybe you
well, I have nothing to do with it.
No, you could have possibly, there could be, it's hereditary. You can get a hernia through other people in your family. This supported my theory that I could possibly have a hernia.
I fell on my ass, that's what happened, and it ruptured.
Okay, I know, but it's serving a point.
I don't understand it.
Apparently, there can be a genetic link and hernias can be passed down. It runs in the family is what I'm trying to say. Jesus Christ, where the fuck did it even come from? I also found out from the general surgeon, he said adhesions make no logical sense whatsoever. So he completely ruled out another doctor's theory. He also felt the mass that we previously felt and thought it was a hernia. He even said I had one in my belly button. That's 2 hernias. However, in a follow-up visit, he learned I have no hernias whatsoever. So that leads us to present day. Present day, Juggies. Here we are, February 21st, and I still don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Welcome to the Mcjuggernuggets Medical Mystery. You guys now know everything there is to know about my health problems. However, what is the answer? Maybe you guys have figured it out. Here's my current theories and what I'm doing right now. All we really have confirmed is that I had mononucleosis and that I have diverticulosis, which technically mono should be gone and diverticulosis shouldn't have any present symptoms. Interestingly enough, we may have had a muscular tear at some point. This much seems certain. However, it wasn't really that much of a problem. It wasn't until mononucleosis came about where I started to feel really shitty, and maybe the muscle never healed properly, and it still hasn't. That's one possible theory. It's a muscle that never healed properly. A second theory is perhaps I have a hidden hernia. It runs in the family. My dad had one, and believe it or not, Jeffrey had one long ago. So could it be that I have a hernia that's not appearing on scans? Maybe. There is one other option though. With the hernias and any muscular damage or tears, these things should have been picked up on any and all of my scans that I had. The ultrasound, the CT scan, the 2 MRIs, the x-ray, all these things that we talked about. The doctors, I feel like, would have diagnosed this. So with that, what if it's digestive? What if the liquid diet I went on way back when just wasn't enough to really reap the benefits? What if I should have had that colonoscopy and I shouldn't have chickened out? And turns out, the thing I'm feeling down there is actually my lower intestine. Apparently, it is said that even in skinny people can feel the colon down there, and you can actually move it around. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just really inflamed, and I need to give my bowels a break, if you know what I'm saying. So this day, I'm now on a liquid diet. I'm gonna pursue that route for the next few days, see if it works. Hopefully I feel better. If not, I pretty much ran out of options. The general surgeon, last I heard, he didn't want to cut me open. He said it was too risky, especially for not knowing what's wrong with me. He told me to take anti-inflammatories for the next 3 months straight. I didn't really want to do that. I don't want to pursue those side effects, and that could be the completely wrong thing for me to do if it's a digestive problem. Anti-inflammatories cause digestive issues, and maybe that's why I haven't healed yet, because I was taking a lot of painkillers previously. So I'm running off fumes right now. I haven't had anything to eat in the last like 16 hours, and I'm going to continue this for 3 more days. Hopefully I feel better, Juggies. Now you know the medical mystery. I will say I'm comparatively better than 8 months ago. But once again, it's 8 months, and any muscle should have healed by then. I just don't know anymore, Juggies, but I hope you enjoyed the journey. What is life? Let me know in the comments below if you have any diagnosis. No, it's not all in my head. I'm not fucking crazy. It's a very real issue. So if you have any ideas, suggestions, let me know in the comments below. It would really help me out, and it means the world. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. It was a little different. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. Instagram links in the description. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Corn's channel in the corner. So he helped me film this video, and it was a lot. Once again, it's not your average vlog. I'm going to continue drinking water and trying my fucking best to enjoy it. I love you, J's to death, and don't forget to keep it frigid.